There is a line you have heard before. He who looks outside dreams, but he who looks inside awakens. But what if I told you that the Sufi masters were whispering this truth long before it was ever popularized in the West? That beyond the mystical poetry and swirling dances, the heart of Sufism is a rebellion against illusion. You see, most people are sleepwalking, eyes open, souls closed, living by other people's rules, chasing symbols of happiness, unaware that they're trapped in a dream they didn't design. And that's exactly what the Sufis came to disrupt. In this video, we are going to peel back the illusion you live in, and not in some vague or mystical sense, but in a way that hits you right where you are standing. We will explore the ancient, yet urgently modern wisdom of Sufi mystics like Rumi, Al-Ghazali, and Ibn Arabi, men who walked through fire and silence to speak one truth, which is you are not what you think you are. So if you're tired of feeling lost, empty, or like something's missing but you can't put your finger on what it is, you're not alone. And you're not broken. You are just dreaming. And now is the time to wake up. There is a story the Sufis tell of a man who searches everywhere for his lost key. He is on his knees under a street lamp, scanning the ground. A friend walks by and asks, "Where did you lose it?" The man replies, "Inside my house." "Then why are you looking out here?" "Because there is more light here." That is us. We are searching outside ourselves, scrolling, comparing ourselves with others. Why? Because it is easier. There is more light out here, more distraction, but the key is inside. And it is dark, so we avoid it. Rumi once said, "Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open?" He wasn't talking about iron bars. He was talking about the prison of identity, which is the ego, the false self, the roles we perform for love, validation, or survival. We keep repeating pain, we keep chasing approval, we keep sabotaging peace. And every time we do, we drift further from the key. The first step of the Sufi path is this: stop looking outside for who you are. Let go of the narrative. Let go of who you think you're supposed to be. The Sufis weren't interested in what you do for a living, how popular you are, or how spiritually enlightened you appear. They asked only one question: have you met your soul? You have to start small. Silence your mind for even 2 minutes a day. Close your eyes and ask, who am I when no one's watching? Not the curated version, not the confident mask you put on. Just you. Scary, isn't it? Good. That is where your awakening begins. No amount of self-help, therapy, or achievement will fix the feeling of being a stranger to your own soul. You don't need more improvement or perfection. All you need is remembrance. And when you begin to remember who you are, something beautiful happens. You stop chasing and you start receiving. You stop fearing silence, and you begin hearing something deeper, something that was always speaking beneath the noise, the voice of the beloved. Let me take you to the desert, where a Sufi dervish sits in solitude, where he dances in silence beneath the stars. He has nothing, no followers, no wealth, and yet he radiates peace. Why? Because he surrendered. The second Sufi secret is this: suffering is only sacred if you let it burn away your illusion. Al-Ghazali once wrote, "Destruction is the beginning of all transformation." Sufi mystics didn't run from heartbreak. They bowed to it. They knew that the pain we avoid is often the door to the truth we seek. So here is the radical Sufi invitation: don't run from your suffering. Just sit with it and let it speak to you. When your anxiety tells you you're not safe, ask it, what are you trying to protect me from? When your depression whispers you're not enough, ask, whose voice is this really? Journal your emotions without judgment. Name the stories you're carrying. I'm not worthy. I have to be perfect. If I slow down, I'll be nothing. Then ask yourself, is this the truth or is this programming? Because most of your suffering is not about what is happening. It is about how you've been taught to interpret what is happening. And once you see the illusion, it loses its power. The Sufis believed the heart was the seat of divine knowing, not the mind, not logic, but the heart. And you can't access the heart while you are clinging to control. That is why the next step is so difficult and yet so freeing. Imagine a child holding a broken toy, crying endlessly. The parent says, "Let it go. I'll give you something better." But the child won't listen. That is us, clutching old pain, identities, relationships, beliefs, because it is all we've ever known. Meanwhile, the beloved is whispering, "Release it. I want to give you peace." The third Sufi wisdom is this: let go of control. Ibn Arabi once wrote that the self is a veil between you and God. Letting go isn't about being passive. It is about trusting. It is about surrendering the illusion that you have to do it all alone. In your anxiety, pause and breathe, and then surrender the outcome by saying, "I release control and I choose presence." Because anxiety thrives on the need to control what can't be controlled. But peace, real peace, comes when you surrender the need to have all the answers. And when you surrender, something miraculous happens. You stop fighting life and you start flowing with it. That is when grace arrives, an unexpected joy, soft strength, inner knowing. You realize that the answer wasn't outside. It never was. Rumi once said, "Close your eyes, fall in love. Stay there." What he meant wasn't blind infatuation. He meant fall in love with the stillness inside you, with the presence behind your breath, with the divine that doesn't live in the sky, but in your own chest. That is the final truth of the Sufi way. You are not separate from the divine. You are the divine, experiencing itself. The illusion is separation. The awakening is unity. So, why does this matter for your anxiety in modern life? Because the moment you remember that the entire universe lives within you, how can you fear anything? What could possibly overwhelm you when you are the ocean, not the wave? Modern life has trained you to feel small, to compare, to doubt yourself. Sufi wisdom invites you to remember that you are infinite. Every time anxiety rises, it is a chance to return to yourself, to look within, to awaken from the dream. You have been looking outside for too long, trying to fix, prove, earn, escape. But the key has always been inside. The path of the Sufis is not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you are beneath the noise. Not a self-help project, not a broken soul, but a mirror of the beloved. So close your eyes, fall in love with your silence, and finally, wake up. If this stirred something inside you, this is your invitation, not from me, but from your own soul. Don't ignore it. And if you want more teachings like this, make sure to subscribe, so that when you forget again, and you will have a place that gently reminds you that you were never lost. You were only dreaming.